Hello everyone. Hello to my fellow classmate and to my lecturer that I respected, Miss Dr. Hikmah. My name is Gabriel, and today I will be presenting my topic titled "The Linkage Between the Ethical Leadership, Well-being, Work Engagement, and Innovative Work Behavior." Okay, so this presentation is based on the 2022 study by Jia and colleagues. So basically, the research looks at how the ethical leadership, which mean leading with the fairness, the honesty, and care that can influence how employees feel, how engaged they are in their work, and how innovative they become. It's very interesting topic because the leadership plays such a huge role in shaping the overall culture and performance of any organizations. So without wasting our time, let's straight to the topic, which first I will enter to the introduction. Oh, okay. So this is the title of journal. So as I mentioned just now, this is the article that I choose uh, for this assignment. The linkage between ethical leadership, well-being, work engagement, and innovative work behavior. So next we have the introduction. So in today's the workplace, ethics and leadership goes hand in hand, which ethical leadership has become super important. Why? Because people now care more about trust, transparency, and fairness at work. So the study I presenting is actually focused on the academic staff in Chinese university. So they're exploring how their leaders' ethical behavior affects their well-being, motivation, and creativity. This is a meaningful topic because in educational setting, the employees need to stay motivated and creative to improve both teaching and research. Why? Because when a leadership is ethical, it creates a what do we call a positive environment where the staff feel valued and willing to contribute their best ideas to this company. So next, uh, this is the framework from this article. So as we can see here, we have the column from the well-being, ethical leadership, work engagement, and also the innovative work behavior. So this framework actually shows the solid lines of the direct relationship and what do we call the dotted line that shows the moderating and mediating relationships. Okay, so next we have entered the background and literature review. So let's move on the background ethical leadership. So ethical leadership can be understood as a leadership that demonstrates a fairness, the honesty and care in both a decisions and also the relationships. Okay, so I have actually doing some research about this article. So this actually according to the Brown and Tree, what do we call the tree uh, the Trivino, yeah, the Trivino back in 2006. Okay, back in 2006. So it means showing the rights of kind of moral behavior through the personal actions. So the study by Jia, which is this article, is built on social learning theory. which basically says that the people learns and imitate the behaviors of those they respect in. Okay, so in this case, like the leaders. So when so for example, like when the leaders act ethically, which their employees tend to copy the behavior, so which will build the stronger and more positive work culture in the companies. So this the academic field is especially useful because the collaborations, like what do we call the autonomy and respect are all very important for success. And also the previous research are actually most focused on the business words. So this study helps to expand our understanding to the education sector, which is a very great contributions. Okay, so next we moving on to the research objectives. Okay, so for the research objectives, the researcher had a few main goals for the study. So first, which they want to see how ethical leadership influence the employee well-beings. So basically, for how good and healthy people feel at work. The second, which they want to find out the ethical leadership, increases the work engagement, and also like how to motivate and focus employees in their daily tasks. So the third, which is the M to what do we call the explore whether ethical leadership encourages innovative work behavior, and which meaning how employees comes up with new creative ideas. And yeah, the lastly they want to test if the employee well-being and engagement act as a bridge or link between the leadership or innovations. So it's not just about being ethical, but it's about understanding how the ethic lead to better performance and creativity through the positive emotions. Yeah. So next, which is the methodology. So for the methodology, the researcher Jia used to use quantitative what do we call the quantitative research QRD, yeah, the quantitative research design, yeah, the quantitative research design, which mean they collected the data, used to structure it surveys. So sorry, the survey were distributed uh, among the academic staff working in Chinese higher education institutions. So they're used to stabilize and validate the measurement scales for four main variables. So the ethical leadership, employee well-being, the what do we call the work engagement, and the innovative work behavior. Yeah. So to analyze the data, they use the SEM format, which what so what is SEM, which is the structural equation modeling, to do the statistical methods that helps test both direct and indirect relationship between the variables. So the sample includes a mix of lecturers, researchers, and also the what do we call the administrative staff, which make the finding more reliable. And the researcher also follow the proper ethical guidelines, which participants join voluntarily. Voluntarily, and their responses were kept confidential. So next, which is the finding and result. Sorry. So now let's look at the findings, which were actually quite positive. Why I say that? Because the results supported all of the study of hypothesis. Okay, so first, as we can see, the ethical leadership was found to significantly improve the employees' well-being. So when the leaders act fairly and honestly, the employees, of course, the employees will feel happier and more secure. This is what we call what we call the mutual trust between the workers and leader. Okay, so second, which is the ethical leadership, also the ethical leadership also increase the work engagement. So why? Because the employee under ethical leaders, they will be felt more motivated and will be more focused, and they will committed to the task more. What do we call the more? They will spend uh, their efforts on their tasks and work more. So okay, so the third is the ethical leadership had a strong positive effect on the innovative work behavior. So meaning the employees were more creative to open new ideas and also willing to make the initiative. So okay, so sorry. The study also found that the well-beings and the engagement acts as a mediators, which mean the ethical leaders they don't just directly cause the innovation, but they improve the employees' mental states and motivation first. So that will be that's what drives the innovations. And yeah, for my opinions, is really interesting change reactions. So next is the discussion. We are moving on to the discussion part. So okay, sorry, I'm sick. Okay, so for the discussion, what do these results tell us? That actually shows that the ethical leadership is the key factors in what do we call the creating a positive and productive workplace. So when the leader shows integrity, fairness, and empathy, workers will, like, what do we call of course the worker will respond with the higher motivations and creativity. So in the academic words, this mean more collaborations, better teamwork, and more like more innovative teaching or research. So the study also this study also gives the insight to the Asian work culture, our Asian, okay, work culture, especially in China. So where the workplace can be quiet, hierarchical, and the ethical leadership helps bridge that gap between the authority and subordinates by promoting the respect and understanding instead of fear. So overall, it aligns well with the what do we call the transformational leadership theories, but with a stronger sorry, but but with a stronger moral foundations. It means ethical behavior isn't just what do we call the nice to have, but it actually essential for sustainable performance. Okay, so that's all for the discussions. So next we have to move on to the implications. Okay, so for the implication, what are the practical takeaways from all these? So the organizations include schools and university nowadays that should actively promote the ethical leadership development. Why? I say this because when the leaders that leads with honesty and sorry lead with honesty and empathy, so they actually can create a supportive culture when the employees trust their management. So the trust actually builds a stronger engagement, and actually it reduces the stress and improves the productivity a lot. And also the what do we call the ethical, yeah, sorry, the ethical leadership, there should be part of the training programs and the leadership development initiatives. Why? Because that would be a part of the organization's culture, not just individual behavior. But in the long run, this can lead to a healthier, happier, and what do we call the more innovative workplace. So these the applications. Next is the conclusions. Okay, so that will be the last, which is the conclusion. Okay, so for the conclusion, which to wrap everything up, the study is actually very clear to show that the ethical leader has positive ripple effects throughout an organizations. Why? Because the leader who acts with the ethics is actually not just only boost the employees' well-being and engagement, but but also encourage innovation and creative thinking. It reminds us that the ethical behavior isn't just about following rules, but it's about creating a workplace where the people actually want to give their best. So for the overall, the ethic performance goes hand in hand, and the organizations that value both that will be achieve sustainable and success. Yeah. So that's all from my presentation. I hope you enjoy my presentation, and that's all from me. Thank you.